Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about some of the mistakes I see women making, but not as you know them, like wearing the wrong underwear or the wrong colors. Most of the mistakes I'm going to cover today have a broader perspective and are more psychological than practical. Some of these I made myself and I wish someone told me right there and then, which would have saved me a lot of time trying to figure out on my own. So don't feel bad if you're making some of these mistakes. Okay, so let's get started and watch until the end because I saved the best ones for last. The first style mistake I see women making is when wearing socks. And this one is more like a rule, especially when wearing something that hits mid-calf, like a dress or a skirt, for example. You better off showing skin instead of a sock, particularly contrasting color socks like here. It's super unflattering. Now, if you visualize this look without the socks, that would look much better. The same goes for ankle pants. I see women wearing ankle pants with socks a lot. It can work, but there's a way to do it. So I'm gonna show you here one way that not only does it shorten your legs, but also looks frumpy, sloppy, as well as how to fix it. The key to a successful ankle pants and socks coordinate lies in the silhouette of the pants. Your best bets are tapered and slim fits. And I find it particularly interesting with colorful socks. Wide leg pants are difficult to balance in terms of silhouette, including the combination with shoes, and might not be the best choice when paired with socks because you may end up looking dowdy and unrefined. Now, when it comes to ankle boots, the idea is for the boots to tuck in inside the bottom edge of the pants, leaving a streamlined silhouette and no skin exposed. Don't tuck in your pants in the boots. It doesn't look good. And finally, wearing tights and ankle boots, particularly in different colors like here, leaving no breathing room, is definitely a no-no. The second most common mistake I see women making is styling body parts instead of considering the overall silhouette, as you can see here in this picture. There's so many things going on here, but let's just focus on the outer silhouette for now. I see this a lot. What happens is that many women, especially pear and apple body shapes, tend to have different sizes of upper and lower body parts. And they wear different sizes of bottoms and tops. The result is an unbalanced overall silhouette that looks particularly clear when wearing a blazer. The way to fix it is to balance the weight of your clothes on the top half of your body to the bottom half of your body. Balancing can often be a hard thing to master, so don't worry if you don't get the hang of this straight away. But I'll show you an example. Although I have a different body type, as I'm an hourglass, depending on the item, I can wear different sizes in my upper and lower body because I don't have much up here. So if I was to wear a blazer that fits my upper body perfectly, I'd look out of proportion, as you can see here. As an overall rule, if you are a pear body type or have different sizes in your upper and lower body parts, you might want to consider sizing up or down certain parts to create a balanced result, which is easier to do when using a blazer because they determine the shape and how long your torso looks. I've made a video on this topic where I go in more depth. You can check them out after watching this video. So here I got a blazer that's a bit larger and that makes my shoulders appear wider. Also, I went for the straight leg pants and ditched the hem up and contrasting shoes. And you can see how much more balanced it looks. This one is more of a doubt than a rule per se, but generally when women get to a certain age, they start questioning if they're dressed appropriately. And I'm not here to judge anyone. You know, this channel isn't ageist, quite the opposite, or exclusive by any means. But if you are in doubt, being selective about the skin that's showing can be the solution. Too much can feel inadequate, and being all covered up might read overly modest. My solution is to focus on just one area of the body to be more exposed and allow the rest to stay concealed. For example, if wearing a short skirt, don't reveal as much on top. Wear a blouse or a jacket to balance out the legs on display. And conversely, a strapless top is elevated when paired with pants or a midi-skirt. Choose one area of the epidermis to be the focus and let the rest stay under wraps and mysterious. Too much confuses the viewer. They don't know where to look. Being strategic about the quality and quantity of skin that's bared allows what's revealed to shine. Don't forget to like this video and hit that subscription button if you haven't already done so. That would be very appreciated. Also follow me on Instagram. I share a lot of tips on a regular basis there. If you follow trends without thinking about your own style, your clothes might not go together. Women often choose styles that don't fit their personalities, which can make them feel bad about themselves and uncomfortable, which leads me to the next mistake. The next mistake is to copy an outfit or even the whole style of their favorite influencers. There are so many things that can go wrong with that. For starters, chances are she or they don't have the same body shape as you do. I'll give you an example. I love how Leandra Medine is super creative and even audacious in her style, which is super in line with my own style. However, her body shape is completely different than mine. So if I was to copy one of the many looks of hers that I love, I look like an idiot. Take this look for example. Why it doesn't work for me even if I had the exact same clothes she's wearing? Simply because I don't have thin long legs like she does, which balances the volume of her upper body. The secret sauce is get inspired but use discernment. So what I did was to keep the bone of the look, but then adjust it to my specifics. My pants are slightly longer, otherwise they would shorten my legs. Then I chose a fitted blazer, and finally, instead of the sweater as a belt, I opted for 2 belts. That way, not only did I highlight my waist, but also inserted my personal touch, making sure I felt like me. There's nothing wrong in getting inspired, but remember, the copy is never as good as the original. Make sure you insert yourself in a look. In a similar way, but on the opposite direction, do not be scared to leave your safety zone. It can be beneficial to try new styles, and they may help you find new favorites. I'm a risk taker by nature. I couldn't see myself any other way. Getting dressed for me is to be able to understand broader psychic themes. There's a well of potency inside of us all. This energy is tied to our creativity. And the better we bet about pursuing the outlets that connect us to our creativity, the more refined our deepest discharges become. It doesn't matter what the outlet is. It doesn't have to be for anyone but you. But I'm convinced that if we truly want to tap into our power, to work with it in whatever way, we've got to take the risk of trying to find it at all. A fact that might shock some or many. You don't always have to look elegant or chic or complete the dotted line. Nor do you have to like a pair of pants just because they make your legs look longer. Don't get me wrong, I love a well put together, elegant look, and I've worn many. A fitted top tucked in, high-waisted pants, so on and so forth. But I've grown to resist the idea that the most flattering outfit is always the best outfit. In fact, I try my best to avoid the word elegant altogether, simply because I also want to look sexy, cool, modern, and why not relaxed. Referring back to mistake number 3, good style has no age limit. In fact, it gets better with time. It's perfectly okay if certain styles that exude youthfulness don't feel quite right anymore as you get older. Not due to prejudice, but because they no longer convey the woman you've become and self-assuredness you found with age. I'll admit that certain trends or aesthetics are, I may say, too young for me, but it's simply because I don't resonate with them. So wearing certain things doesn't feel like a good expression of my inner self. A good example is how certain women apply makeup. If you're not careful, we get stuck doing it the same way for decades, instead of readjusting to our new features and products composition that complements our skin today. But that doesn't mean that there is anything wrong for other women in their 50s or whatever to embrace certain aesthetics. No, definitely not. It's all individual, and that's the beauty of it all. Okay, that's all I had for you today. These are some of the things that maybe you're making. It may sound like it's something detrimental, but the truth is, it isn't at all. Without mistakes, our style gets stale. Of course, the whole point is to learn from them and move on. It's important to become more aware of these mistakes and know why you were making them. And once you know what you're doing and you want to do it anyway, go ahead. Only then will you be a clear-cut decision. That's the best way to really honor your individuality. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in my next video. Ciao, ciao.